You are absolutely going to love these one-of-a-kind gingerbread DIYs. My name is Courtney. Let's get crafty. We are starting off with this really fun gingerbread DIY. I'm just going to say right now, I feel like this one's going to definitely end up in my top 5 favorite DIYs for this Christmas DIY season. I started with a 1x4. I just had a scrap piece laying around in my garage, and I cut them to 6 inches each. Now, if you don't have a miter saw or even a jigsaw, you could definitely do this with a miter box and just a handsaw and easily cut through this wood. I sanded all of the edges to get off the little splinters. You could round the corners here if you wanted to, totally up to you. And then I grabbed 3 colors of paint. I painted one of the boards red, one of the boards green, and one of the boards brown. The next thing I did was jump onto CRICUT Design Space and type out 3 phrases in there, have my CRICUT cut it out so that I could apply them to the side of my boards. Now, if you do not have a CRICUT, have no fear. Grab yourself some small letter stickers. You could stencil, or you could even just print something out on cardstock and then attach it to the board. So I did 3 different phrases or words, I guess you could say. One says gingerbread man, and I put that on the red board. Then on the brown board, I put gingerbread stories, but I meant to put sugar and spice recipes. So that means that the green board got sugar and spice recipes. Now it is ribbon time. So I stocked up on my Christmas themed ribbon, and funny enough, all of these ribbons came from just the regular old ribbon section at Hobby Lobby, with the exception of one, and that's the little gingerbread one that I picked up in the Christmas section at Hobby Lobby. So I started with that gingerbread ribbon, and I decided to put that on the red board. So I cut a piece of it and just secured it to the bottom of the board with some hot glue. The brown board got a green ribbon, again securing it with some hot glue, and the green board got some red ribbon, you guessed it, secured with hot glue. With the ribbon secured, I grabbed my 3 boards and I stacked them how I wanted them to look. Now, I didn't want them just right on top of each other, so I kind of did a cattywampus stack and then secured them to each other with some hot glue. Here comes the fun part. So I grabbed my faux sprinkles along with some of these little red and green beads. They don't have holes. They just reminded me of like the little round, sprinkles that when you get it on a cookie, it's like, please don't break my tooth. Yeah. So I picked those up from Amazon, and then I also grabbed some white hot glue, and then my little box of embellishments that is just a accumulation of, over the years, just a bunch of random Christmas stuff in there. Now, everything in today's video will be linked down below for you in the description box, as well as pinned in the first comment. So if you have questions about it, feel free to ask, but you can definitely look in those spots to find the items. So what I did is I started with some white hot glue, and I started on that green board. And just remember, when you are working with the white hot glue or any of the color glue, whether it's brown or white, especially this time of year, if you're squirting it out and it starts to harden, or you missed a spot, or you're getting bubbles, all you have to do is squirt it out, grab your heat gun and run it over the top of it. It will soften it out, it will smooth it out, and you don't have to try to work under pressure and be all, stressed out that you're not going to have enough time to place everything. So I squirted out the white hot glue, and then I added some little embellishments to that. I also put some glue on that little area of the brown one. And then for the top, I've got something special. For the top, I picked up this gingerbread house ornament from Walmart, and I hot glued it down to the top of the red board. Then I did squirt some more of the white hot glue, add some more of the little sprinkles and embellishments, and then this was finished. I am absolutely in love with this project and it is beginner friendly. So I started with some of this printable sticky stabilizer. It dissolves away in water. I just got it on Amazon and I printed off using my regular old printer, my heart design. This is what I'm going to stitch onto my hat. So when you run this through the printer, one side is shiny and one side kind of feels like fabric. You want to print on the fabric side. So I just cut the heart out of this little sheet of paper and then peeled the backing and stuck it straight to my hat. Now down below in the description box, I will have this free heart printable along with a little, I guess you could call it, information sheet that shows the two stitches that we're going to use along with some practice. So just check down there for that. You will also need a darning needle. Now this little pack came from Amazon. I bought it years ago. They are very inexpensive and it comes with different sizes. So you do want to grab one of the larger size needles in the pack. I'm going to start with the white yarn. You want to cut a piece of the yarn and then you want to tie one end of the yarn. On the other end that you need to thread through the needle, what I like to do, especially with these thicker yarns, is just kind of rub the tip between your fingers and then you can easily push it through the needle and get your needle threaded. The first stitch we are going to do is a back stitch, and we're going to use that to go all the way on the outline of our heart. So to start, you want to start at the bottom of the heart, at the, I guess, the tip of the heart, and you want to pull up from, we'll call that point A, then put it about, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch and go down. That will be point B. Then you're going to poke up next to point B, and then go back down into point B. So it's, you come up in A, you go down in B, you come up in C, and go back down in B. And you just keep going all the way around doing that same pattern. So now I've done that. So now I'm going to come up at point E, go back down into point D, and you just go all the way around. Now, when you get to the curves, to make sure that you're still keeping that curved shape, you can do those stitches a little bit smaller. So try to make them as even as possible, but again, on the curves, make them a little bit smaller so that you can hold the shape. And here is what our heart looks like when it's completely backstitched. To finish off this yarn, I am going to tie a knot, and then I'm going to just feed that yarn through the back, kind of through those little stitches. So I will pull it through and just kind of secure it and then trim off the extra. Now we're ready to do our stripes to turn this into a little candy cane heart, and we'll be needing the red yarn. So again, you want to cut off a piece, knot the end of it, and thread that red yarn through the same needle. Now it's time to do a whip stitch here. And you want to start again at the tip. You're going to poke your red all the way through. Once you pull that all the way through, your first little white stitch to the right, you're going to come from the bottom and just poke your needle underneath that stitch. You're not poking through the beanie, you're just poking underneath that white stitch. Once you do that and pull it all the way, you go to the next stitch and go underneath. So you're going to be coming from underneath and then again pull it up, and then once you pull that tight, you'll go to the next stitch coming from underneath and pulling it straight up, and you will just continue this all the way around until you get back to the little tip of the heart. Then poke your red through there and do the same thing, knot it off, and then thread it back through those back stitches on the back side of the beanie. The last step here is just to get that water soluble stabilizer gone, and it comes off so easily. Just use your little fingers, gently rub it. It completely dissolves away. Let your hat dry, and then you are ready for the chilly weather. You guys requested more wood block DIYs, so here is a gingerbread version. I've got some 2x4s here that were just scrap wood in my garage. I cut one to about 4.5 inches long and one to about 3.5 inches long. Gave it a little light sanding and then painted both of them with some brown paint. I'm making a boy and girl gingerbread, so the shorter one is going to have a bow in the top left corner and the taller one will have a bow at the bottom. Once I sketched out those, I grabbed my metallic paint markers and did the bow pink for the girl and did the bow tie green for the boy. Then I took my white paint marker and did the little squiggly icing all along the edge of each of the blocks. Taking my black marker, I drew in eyes. Then I also grabbed my pink marker to make the cheeks. Once that was done, I was kind of looking at the bows and felt like they needed a little bit of detail, so I grabbed my black paint marker and added some detail to both of the bows. Then it was time to draw on a smile with a black marker, and I finished off with some highlights with a white paint pen in the eyes and the cheeks, and the girl did also get some eyelashes. And then this project was ready to go. Grab a Dollar Tree vase and this free printable that is linked down below in the description box. I sized it exactly how I needed it, and what I'm going to do is I'm only actually going to use 4 of these little houses, but I had to do it this way to make sure I can piece it together right. So I'm just cutting out the outline of it, and then I will piece it together so that I can use it as a template. You want to grab your favorite kind of clay. I am using Model Magic air dry clay, and I'm going to take this and roll it out to about 1/4 of an inch thickness. And the nice thing about this template, which I did print on cardstock, is once I get my clay rolled out, I can set my template down on the clay and it kind of sticks to it, which makes it really nice. And then I'm going to, as best I can, cut around the outline of this village. I can do the cleanup afterwards, but I want to get the general shape of this village. And here I have grabbed my daughter's sculpting tools. She has a huge set of tools. We got them on Amazon for so cheap. I will link the one she has down below. And I will say this is what it looks like after I trimmed around it, which isn't terrible, but it was so easy to clean up these edges and just kind of get it how I wanted looking with these tools because there's so many different kinds. You could get very elaborate with these tools and do all kinds of fun designs and things like that, but I'm kind of keeping mine very, very simple. So once I clean up all the edges, I am going to cut doors on all of them, and I am going to cut windows out so that the light will come through my vase. And then I did go in and add some little details to roofs and just here and there, but nothing too crazy, like because this was kind of the first of this type of project I've done, but there are so many possibilities of what you could do. Time to wrap the vase, so I picked up my clay. It took a little bit of finagling, but it really wasn't that hard. I was able to get this all pieced together, get it pressed where I need it to, and then I let it sit and dry for about 2.5 days, I would say. Because this is up against the vase, it's going to need a little bit longer to dry because air isn't really getting to the back of it. So I wanted to make sure I got it as dry as possible. At this point, you have a decision to make. Now, if you want to leave it white and that's more your vibe, you certainly can. But since this is a gingerbread village, I'm going to make this more gingerbready. So I grabbed some brown paint and I painted all of the little houses with that brown paint, making sure to give them a nice good coat. From there, I took my white hot glue and some of that Dollar Tree awesome glittery snow stuff that sticks to everything, and I added that to there to just give it that little extra something. Once that was done, I sprayed the inside with some adhesive spray, sprinkled more of that snow in there just to coat the inside of the glass, and then it was finished. Now, you cannot put a real candle in here. I'm putting fairy lights. The adhesive spray is flammable. The snow will catch on fire. So if you want to put a real candle in here, just either put it on the outside of the glass or just leave the glass plain. You will need a thick gauge wire for this next project. I just had this left over from Dollar Tree, and then I also grabbed some of my Christmas beads. So what we're gonna make here is a candy cane, but we're gonna put a gingerbread man on it as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is start with a red bead. To get it secure, I am just squirting a ton of hot glue into that bead and then just letting it sit, and that's how I got it secure. Then I'm going to thread red, white, and I've got these smaller brown ones as well as 4 tiny ones, and my original thought was to do a head, a body with the bigger brown beads, and then the 4 little ones were going to be like the arms and the legs. But it wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't quite pulling together in my mind. So I grabbed some larger brown beads that I had that were already stained brown, which was a bonus, and I decided to use those, put those on there, and then I continued threading the beads till I got to the end of the wire. And to secure, again, that last bead, I just squirted a ton of hot glue on there and got it secure that way. It's time to work on the little gingerbread man. So I did hot glue just those 2 brown beads together because I am drawing a face and details, and I didn't want it to look like some kind of gingerbread man from Beetlejuice where his head's turned backwards and his body's facing the other way and it's a whole thing. So I glued those together. Then I grabbed my paint markers and I drew on eyes, a mouth, I did cheeks, I did squiggly. I did start with all white, but when you see it in the end, I did change something on it. But once I got all the details on the gingerbread done, I grabbed one of these little bow candy beads that came in a set, and I just used my miter shears to cut it in half and turn it into a bow tie to hot glue to my gingerbread. Now, in my Amazon store, which is linked down below, I actually found some beads that are already painted to look like gingerbread. So if you're not into this whole drawing it and making it yourself, you could definitely find the beads that are already done for you. But you could add a bow to this if you wanted to, or just leave it plain, but I think it turned out really cute. That's going to wrap up today's video. Let me know down below which one of these projects was your favorite. Also, let me know what is your favorite Christmas tradition. I absolutely love taking my kids to pick out their Hallmark ornaments every year. And then, of course, always going to church on Christmas Eve. Those are very special moments for us. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. Here are some more videos you might want to check out, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!